I think the answer is to come to the West Country to holiday and not worry about the flights. There must be times when you feel that you're damned if you negotiate with the EU and you're damned if you don't. And so I actually very much welcome your decision at Chequers and the Cabinet and the White Paper on agri-food, because I think rules need to be dealt with. We've got 30% of our manufacturing industry in this country is food and drink. Much of that food is grown here and under very good welfare conditions and environmental conditions. Also, the Northern Ireland border, I think, is and the Republic, much of the trade between the two is food, and it's perishable, and it crosses the border several times. But my actual question to you is on fishing, and that is, at the moment the fishing industry it contributes 1.3 billion to the economy, 34,000 jobs, and 708,000 tonnes of fish are caught, and we do process a lot of that. So to our coastal communities and fishermen, it's very important. But the issue is that as we leave the EU and we become an independent coastal state, at the moment they take something like 6 times the amount of fish from our waters as we take from theirs. And so it's an ace card, if you like, in our pack as we negotiate. Now, our fishermen want to make sure they get their fish back. And what they want to hear, very clearly from you, is that as we do this negotiation, they're not going to have their fish negotiated away, because we can not only get that fish back, but we can also actually build up our coastal communities, our processing, and it can be a really positive step from leaving the European Union. So, this is a reassurance I seek.
Well, first point, we will be out of the common fisheries policy, and
yes,
we will come out of the common fisheries policy, and we will be acting as an independent coastal state.
Yes.
Of course, there are issues about actually fishing, and then there's the
yes,
question of fishing products and the access to markets in relation to fishing products. But in terms of the access to waters that our fishermen would have, I mean, we want to be sitting there as an independent coastal state, able to make, obviously, as you'll be aware, there are annual negotiations,
yeah,
not just, obviously there's the EU structure within the common fisheries policy, but more generally annual negotiations about access to waters, and we will be part of that as an independent state. And we are very careful at the way in which fishing has been approached in the White Paper, so that it is separate from the question of that other elements of the economic partnership, precisely because I recognise the concern that the fishing industry had in the UK when we went into the European.
That's right.
EEC,
there's no doubt that the fishing industry lost out dramatically. And I think it's just that fishermen are bound to be slightly worried that it's tempting when you're sitting down round the negotiating table. There's some sticking points on other issues on trade that you start to negotiate away some of that extra fish. And I accept that it may take 1 or 2 years to get there, but the fishermen want to be absolutely certain they're going to get their fish back and it's not going to get traded away.
No, we are going to be ensuring that the control of our natural resources is distinct from the negotiation of the future economic partnership.
So the fishermen can be assured that they're going to get their fish back.
Separate negotiation.
So
it'll be a separate negotiation, it'll be a separate part of the agreement.
Right, so therefore it's not going to be a bargaining tool. You can say that quite clearly as we negotiate out of the EU, because the EU want greater access to our fish because they've got it at the moment, so they're bound to try and play hardball on it.
We want this will be a separate agreement, a separate part of the negotiations that we're undertaking with them. This is not going to be jumbled in with the other elements of the trade relationship in the way that it was in the past.
So fishermen can rest easy in their beds.
We want to ensure that, as you say, we not only restore the independence of the UK in terms of determining access to its waters, but we also have the opportunity, as you say, to see our fishing communities being built up and the benefits that will bring.
And of course the very final question is that as we get those fishing rights back and that fish back, of course the quid pro quo is a lot of that is traded into the European Union, so therefore the deal on making sure the agri-food market works on an extremely perishable product is even more important.
Yes.
Thank you.